Hello, good morning, and welcome to another video on high altitude investing. My name is Dalin Anderson, and today I'm going to be talking about Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame as well as XRP on the bigger time frames, and going over a little bit about how the Fed is printing money and talking about my thoughts on the whole matter with the US dollar being printed like crazy. Make sure that you guys are hitting that like button as well as subscribing to my channel, because I am dedicated to uploading 5 videos a week all through 2020 to keep you guys posted and updated in the cryptocurrency markets. Make sure that you guys share this video as well, and I have a personal goal of reaching 150 likes on this video and 100,000 subscribers. So let's get that as a group and as a team. And without further ado, let's get straight into the analysis. I'm going to start with Bitcoin here because, as you guys know, Bitcoin is the mothership of the entire market and generally leads the market as a whole. With Bitcoin right now, I see only one pattern perspective, and that would be an ABCDE triangle, and we have not completed the E wave yet. So I do expect us to drop one more time, and the price level that I expect us to reach is right at around $5,760. So make sure that you guys are watching that. We can break out on the D wave though, because there's a certain percentage of ABCDE falling wedge patterns that actually break out early on the D wave. So it is possible for us to break out above that level. The invalidation of this pattern would be if $5,611 fails as support. The reason that is an invalidation for me is because that's major horizontal support. So if that level fails, then it's probably going to go back down and kiss these lows and potentially break them. And so that's why I really do not want to be in a position if we fail that level. With that being said, I'm going to keep my long-term Bitcoin. This is just a 4-hour kind of swing trade setup that I was sharing with you guys today. I personally think that it's more likely we break upwards, and I still kind of think we'll get that final D in the E wave. This just kind of looks like a little bit of FOMO and bull trap before we go ahead and do that, but we can always break out early. So yeah, Bitcoin on these smaller time frames is looking really good. On the big picture, I have a fractal comparison that I'm going to go ahead and show you. Make sure that you guys are following me on Twitter. I post on here quite regularly, even when I'm not posting on my on my YouTube account. And this right here is Bitcoin, and this is actually an inverted chart. Or no, this is actually Bitcoin not inverted. So this is Bitcoin just normal. And then this is Bitcoin SV, and this is inverted. So this is when Bitcoin SV went all the way up and started going parabolic. And then we retraced back down. So this is major support, since this is an inverted chart, to $115. Now, do you see that fractal where the market panics, finds a low, bounces, panics again, and then reverses? This is kind of what I see in Bitcoin right now. I already posted this a while ago, so we've already started to make that first wave up actually. But that's that panic, another panic and a bounce, and I expect us to continue on the upside towards $9,000 per Bitcoin. That's kind of the bigger time frame perspective. And as far as the absolutely biggest time frame perspective, if you're talking about Bitcoin on the largest time scales, this is probably my most recent update on that, and that is comparing the Nasdaq to Bitcoin. As you can see, they are very, very similar, and I expect Bitcoin to reach the 1618 Fibonacci extension at least in this next cycle, and then we'll probably get somewhat of a rejection there, but I don't even think that will be the top of the entire market. But at least 35,000 is the minimum target of the 3-wave, just like the Nasdaq did after its cycle parabolic run up. Bear market, double bottom, bull market to the 1618, parabolic run up, bear market, double bottom, bull market to the 1618. So that is Bitcoin for me, you guys. I am long. I still have my long-term holds. I still think that Bitcoin is definitely going to see lots of upward movement, especially in the bigger picture. And in these smaller time frames, I am watching this falling wedge pattern. Okay, so XRP, let's talk about XRP, because this one is really amazing right now. I think it's an excellent opportunity to be looking at XRP. And shout out to my buddy DIY Investing, because DIY Investing this is my buddy Donovan, and we have been friends for so long now. We've been trading crypto and Bitcoin for so long together, and he has pointed out a very, very nice fractal for XRP. First of all, I have not seen this before. This is somebody comparing it to the gold fractal. I find that very interesting because I actually think that the consolidation pattern looks very similar, but this is the main one I wanted to show you guys. This is XRP, and as you can see, this is the last bear market cycle on the bottom and the current bear market cycle on the top, and look how similar they are. Yes, the top one held support right here, and then we fell through support, and then this one also held support right here, but we fell through support, but we actually fell below the 2 level, whereas the one on the bottom, we did not fall below the 2 level. That is the only difference I can see in this fractal, but that doesn't matter. The thing that matters is the cycle of human emotions. It's not the exact price points, because with fractal comparisons, you're not looking to find the exact prices that everything reverses. You're looking to find the cyclical nature, the human emotional fractal, and that repeats in all time frames. And what's interesting about the human emotional fractal is it doesn't have to be exactly the same as far as the price points go. It just has to rhyme with the previous one. And this one definitely rhymes. In fact, there's so much similarity here that I agree with this fractal comparison and think that it's a very, very strong comparison. He also shows how in every cycle it rejects, finally breaks out and falls onto that as support. Rejects, finally breaks out and falls onto that as support. So I really like Donovan's analysis. Make sure that you guys are subscribed to him as well on Twitter and on his YouTube channel. So that is something I'm watching with XRP. Personally, I think this is a falling wedge pattern. The target for that falling wedge pattern is $1. And this is what I was watching way back in December with XRP. And we saw that the prices bounced up just like I drew here and then fell right into my pink buy zone, and that pink buy zone was around 12 cents. So this is following my trading plan since December perfectly. So I really, really like XRP and think that this is one that has a lot of upward potential. It's extremely oversold and overhated. So this is an undervalued and overhated project, and that's what I talk about in my analysis that I posted on my Twitter as well. By the way, huge shout out to everybody that liked and is following me and giving me engagement on Twitter. I love to talk with you guys and engage with you on this platform. Twitter is an amazing platform for technical analysis specifically. Twitter and Discord are probably my favorite platforms, except for YouTube, for sharing my content with you guys on a regular basis. So that falling wedge pattern that I drew on here, and that's basically what I say, is talk about an undervalued and overhated project, and I completely feel the same way about that currently. So yeah, I am personally long on XRP. I think XRP will do very well. The Bitcoin pair might make one more low, but there's a lot of divergence on that one as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if it sees a reversal very, very soon. Okay, one last thing, and that is all about the world markets. We are printing US dollar like crazy, you guys. The government seems to think that we can just infinitely print it. Now, I disagree with that concept, and this is why I am a Bitcoin hodler myself. And this is euro versus the dollar, and as you can see, there's this descending triangle pattern, and then we fell through that. We came back up, and we tested the support as resistance. It confirmed as resistance, and we're going back down to that support. I believe we will fall. So what does that mean? That means that even though the Fed is printing tons and tons and tons of money to inject into the markets, guess what? The value of the dollar is still going up versus other fiat currencies. So that means people are panic selling their stocks. People are panic selling their hedges against the dollar failing into the dollar because they believe cash is king. And I disagree with that completely. I think that cash can be king. Do not get me wrong. I think cash can be king. And as we transition, it is still our dominant currency. But That does not mean that it's always a king in terms of hedge, if you're hedging your value, meaning that there are definitely times where it's better to be in other things than it is the US dollar. But right now, the US dollar is rallying. So what does that mean, you guys? That just means people are panic selling their hedges into the US dollar. I don't think that's sustainable. I think that that money will have to see a flip at some point, and I think that's very bullish for Bitcoin. And this is kind of why I think people are panic selling. This is a very large shakeout in the stock market before we continue on the upside, in the same way that Ethereum shook out right here after 107% rise. Stock market did the exact same thing after 108% rise, and the percentages down are very similar also. They're both about 42%. So I really think this is a shakeout. People are panic selling their hedges. I think their hedges will then continue to go on the upside, but the value of the dollar is increasing because of the panic selling their stocks. Now, I don't think that will sustain. They're printing the dollar, so that will lead to a drop in value of the dollar at some point, but that's kind of what I'm expecting to watch for, and what I'm looking for with the US dollar is I'm watching for it to start to lose value at some point, because people will start panic selling or panic buying back into the stock market as soon as it heads towards its previous highs. And I feel the same way about Bitcoin. I think people will start panic buying Bitcoin, especially as it starts to head up towards 14,000 and break above that level, because people will be a little bit more confident about the up and coming bull run. I really appreciate every single one of you guys tuning in today's video. Again, make sure that you are subscribed to this channel, as well as liking this video right now, so that we can reach 150 likes on this video as a team, and so that I can reach my personal goal of 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Again, you guys, I love and appreciate every single one of you. Daily, I cultivate a feeling of gratitude towards the amount of support that I receive, and I'm going to continue to do that and continue to keep you guys updated and posted in the markets. That's pretty much everything I have to talk about today, and I will keep you guys updated in tomorrow's video as well. As always, stay profitable out there.